I say this to you guys all the time. I mean, it is a ton of fun covering the Philadelphia Eagles. Welcome aboard, and it is an absolute football Friday. Prior to going on the air, deal's been constructed. And I'm going to say this before we get into the details of the deal with Bryce Huff, okay? Before we get going into this here, okay, I want everybody to know that this is why the Eagles and Jalen Hurts and that football team win, is because the general manager can pivot and get out of issues when it comes to player contracts. I thought this was going to be a Death Star. You know, what was the comment that Philadelphia made, the general manager? This story's yet to be told, and the story is that Bryce Huff has been dealt to the San Francisco 49ers. And let me get to the details here. And what makes this deal so incredible for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm going to get to so many other angles in this. So the Eagles, here's the specifics of the deal. They now send for a mid-round draft pick, Bryce Huff, to the San Francisco 49ers. And here are the sidebar details. The Eagles declined Bryce Huff's $15.58 fully guaranteed option bonus, which was turned into a base salary. Philadelphia then turned the $9.05 million base into a signing bonus, which allows San Francisco to take on the remaining $7.95 million. In total here, the Eagles save $7.95 million in cash and create north of $15 million in cap space this year. San Francisco will inherit then the final 2 years of Huff's deal, owing him $7.95 million in cash for this season. They got out of it. They absolutely got out of it. This is why Jeffrey Lurie, again, has empowered this guy and to no end make decisions for that football team. This is a spectacular move in getting out of this. Now, I'll go here with this. Okay? I will go here with this. I'm not even sure what that means. Okay? Sure, whatever. Thank you, Howie. Okay, thanks for the super chat. Oh, by the way, all supers go to the top. Please hit the like button. Yeah, that's over my head, dude. I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. Now, let me say this to you. Now, look what Prince wants here. What did Prince say? Prince, you want the guy in Cincinnati, Trey Hendrickson, right? We need an edge, and we need edge depth that we lost with him. Khalid says, hey, Xander, I'm assuming that Kyle posted a super chat prior to the show. Only thing to top this day off is Roseman doing the hoochie coochie dance. That is a hoochie coochie dance. Okay? Happy Friday. Get him out of here. Howie season, baby. Brandon, it is. Your general manager is spectacular. Thank you guys for all the supers here. If you were defending Huff, take the day off. And most people will because he's an Eagle. Now he's not. So all Eagle fans will hate his ass. Guys, Prince, everyone, let me throw just a suggestion out. I'm not saying that this is what they're going for and what they're thinking. So how much cap space? Kyle, do me a favor. Give me the exact number that the Philadelphia Eagles, prior to this deal. Now, remember something too, folks. This deal can't be done until June 1. That's collective bargaining agreement. It can't be posted until June 1. Okay, so that has to play a factor. Both the Player and the agent and the organization want to make this happen, so it's going to happen. But it can't be posted due to league rules June 1. I want to show you this, and you tell me if you're on board with this or not. And Prince, you're right. Trey Henderson's a great-looking name. I don't like the edge room. I just don't. You're really banking on a lot with Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith. You really are. Now, one thing you proved a year ago, you don't really need elite pass rushers at the edge. Can I throw this at you? So I'd like to know. Here's Bob. Bob, you're a really good guy with this. This is good. I trust you, Bob. Okay? Total cap liabilities, 302. I want to know what cap space is. $25 million. Okay. Bob, $25.8 million. All right, guys. How about TJ Watt? How about going and trading for TJ Watt? If you're expecting, let me tell you something. You add TJ Watt to your room, and you put Watt and Carter on your front seven, I mean, we're talking about a different ball game here. Looks like the Eagles are going to get audited soon. Hey, you're going to check out that credit card, aren't they? You don't understand how happy this trade makes me. You should be. It's a great deal. Why not TJ Watt? Look at this guy. Not to Watt. Why not? He's a preeminent pass rusher in the game today. Why wouldn't you? Are you under the impression he's long in the tooth? You're crazy. I would fall on my knees if Watt came to Philadelphia. Why not? So this guy says TJ Watt's injured all the time. TJ Watt, Ben says, would be a dream for me. Senor says he's injured all the time. Let's take a look at that. TJ Watt. Take a look at his numbers and see if Prince is right that he's injured all the time. Okay? So, last year, 11.5 sacks. Last 2 years, he's had 30. He was hurt in 2022. Before that, he's only been injured one time in his career where he missed significant time. 22.5, 15.5, 14.5, 13.5. It's an absolute not true comment. You've created space. But first, let's walk back here on exiting out of this deal and what makes this thing so insane. I mean, they created cap space. They moved a player without significant damage to their salary cap, knowing full well they got to start paying players in the next couple of years. This is why Josh Allen, this is why other quarterbacks in the National Football League do not win. It's because they do not have a general manager that knows how to get out of bad deals. Let me put this out there to you. You're going to be involved in more bad deals than you are good deals when you're a general manager. I mean, you're gambling when you go to free agency. You know, you're gambling just as much as you are in the draft, but the only difference is in the draft is that you're not spending a ton of money like you did with Bryce Huff. Okay? Maybe he goes, Bryce Huff, to San Francisco and fits into that system better. I'm going to make a comment here on Josh Sweat and Milton Williams and how this all ties in to, again, system guys. Now, we talked about this yesterday, but I want to reiterate it one more time here. The fact that you were able to, because of the collective bargaining agreement, move around the money and move around the guarantee and move around the base. Again, they declined the option. I didn't realize that By the way, voidable years. Do you understand that's what we were talking about the other day? If you're not able to pick up that option, which is a voidable year, you can't cut this deal. Do you understand that? If you don't have that voidable year, you can't do this deal. It's impossible to do that deal. That's why what he does with those voidable years, it is totally something that Howie leans on. This deal is all the deal that they used just now to send Bryce Huff to San Francisco is all based on future years and how they were able to get out of this contract. It's fantastic. I mean, you're just chiming in. By the way, please hit the like button. So again, they declined Bryce Huff's 15.58. Now again, he's been dealt to the San Francisco 49ers for a mid-round draft choice. Yet to be determined. We'll find out more after June 1. By the way, guys, Super Chats go to the top. Please hit the like button here. Hey, John McMullen is going to join us at 4:30. Xander will join us at 3:30. We'll have our legendary friend on, Philly Godfather. That'll be at 5:30 Eastern time. So we look forward to having you guys where you fit in. We appreciate you coming aboard here. It's insane. Again, decline Bryce Huff's voidable guaranteed option bonus. And they converted it. It's a $9 million at base. This is so good. This is his forte, more so than anything when it comes to personnel. They turned that bitch into a signing bonus. And then this allowed the money for San Francisco, which, by the way, is stretched for money themselves. So they're basically getting Bryce Huff this year for $7.5 million. That's what they're getting him for. Almost $8 million, I should say. And the Eagles saved $8 million and created north of $15 million, probably 15.3 in 2025, giving them around $25 million in salary cap space. And they're paying Huff this year in San Francisco $7.95. And I'm very sure of it. They're restructuring the contract so San Francisco could get out of the deal if Huff sucks again like he did a year ago. It's a great deal for both teams. Howie is a Hall of Fame cap manipulator. He absolutely is. Hendrickson would be cheaper. But I would say this to you. Let me ask you this. I get you on an edge. Do you want to break the plan up? Do you want to go in a different direction and go out and gamble with the one thing that makes you spectacular and why Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson can't win? And that's because the guy running your salary cap, you're great because of what deals like this are done. This is what makes you great. And now that you're hitting on draft picks, this is why you're ahead of everyone. This is why you're ahead. Howie's playing chess. Everyone that's dealing with salary cap is playing checkers. Seals Watt would be a huge asset, but the cost would be it'd be enormous. Unless you can plan on re-signing him, scheme fit might have Howie look at Khalil Mack, who's an older player, allowing the kids to play into form. Again, you're talking about developing, though. You are really banking on Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith being players. I'm not there on that. Being every down. I mean, Jalix Hunt didn't play really and start being an impact until week 8. And that means you got to go each and every single day being the main dude. I don't know. We'll see if they can hold up I know Nolan Smith. We'll find out if he can hold up. Does Howie need to add an end? Once again, this is an absolutely great move. It's a great move because you haven't. Think about what you're looking at now with this contract. You got out of a horrible deal. Really, pretty much unscathed. You got out of this deal, not taking too much. And it didn't cost you a year ago where, you know how many free agents that team signed? And if that guy doesn't hit, it's catastrophic. That guy was a non-factor. We all knew something was up. You know, I had a topic here today. Why is Bryce Huff on the team? What's the point? Little did I know they were working on a deal. And get this, the Eagles didn't think anything of him because they moved him into a organization that they've gone back and forth with over the last 5 years when it comes to playoff football, the San Francisco 49ers. They didn't care. They just were looking for a dance partner. I mean, goodbye. Goodbye in a great way. You know what I do love? I love that Bryce Huff is working with the Eagles to maneuver and manipulate his contract so that this thing can be conducive for him. He wanted out too. Do you understand that the player wanted out too? He did not want to be here any longer. And the Philadelphia Eagles accommodated him because they didn't want him either. He's now your favorite wizard, Pat. I like it. Good stuff. Kyle, how about trading for Jair Alexander? Here, love, I'll get to what am I giving up, though? This is how we do it on Friday night. I know, right, Ben? It's like a media dump. It's like a media dump here. As you head into the week, by this, hey, get this. He did it really close to June 1, didn't he? He knew he was doing this when he made that comment, Howie Roseman. Stories yet to be written. He knew he was doing this. How many people do you think Howie Roseman knew this on the parade route? We'll take a look and see if we missed it. Okay? I like this player. Okay? I do. How much do I have to give up with the number 1 overall selection? Is Jacksonville going to want a draft pick for that? I believe Howie Roseman knew the moment the Super Bowl ended on February 10th, he had to come up with a way to move Bryce Huff and get that guy off the books. Okay? He knew that he was moving him. He just probably didn't know where and to who and how. Figured it out. Absolutely sensational. It's a great move. I mean, the money they saved. And here's Adam Schefter. Before the trade can get finalized next week, the Eagles restructured, I should say, Bryce Huff's contract this week. So they were that's why he wasn't at OTAs, is because they were reworking and restructuring his deal so that they could move him. Man. So when John McMullen and all the beat writers were out there going, where's Bryce Huff? They knew something was cooking. He was set to make $17 million fully guaranteed this season from Philadelphia, but the Eagles now will take on only $9.05 million in salary, leaving the 49ers responsible for the remaining money for the year. They basically split the difference. It's great. It's why you're sitting where you are. I want to make one point to you here. Let me take a look at something here. We'll continue to go back on this deal here because this is brilliant. Now, what's next will be the conversation. I want to show you something here. And deals like this absolutely play into a topic where I'm going here. Watch this here. Super Bowl champions. List of Super Bowl champions. I want to make a point to you guys. And again, a deal like this today accentuates where we're going with this take. Okay? So the first time the Patriots won the Super Bowl was 2004, right? Back to back. Went 03, 04. How many years did it take them to get back to one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. 10 years. It took them to get back to a Super Bowl after those two. I'll tell you something here. With the Kansas City Chiefs a year ago, having 12 one-score games, and the way that offense line looks, and the way that roster looks right now, I'm going to make a proclamation to you. If Kansas City wins 9 games, I'll be stunned. I'll be stunned. I mean, the Eagles, I criticize you guys all the time about the losses that you had on that side, and then you pull a deal like this off for Huff to San Francisco. And you're constantly, Kansas City's not doing this. They're not doing this right now. They're losing talent, and guys are getting older. I saw Patrick Mahomes, and I'm like, how come when I look at Kansas City right now, I feel that's an 8-9 win team. 12 one-score games a year ago. Try doing that again. I bang on the Eagles, and then I look at Kansas City, and I go, I'd rather be in Philly's room right now than Kansas City's room. And you got Patrick Mahomes. I'd rather be the Eagles than Kansas City. I don't see Kansas City competing with you ever again, at least not for the next 6 years. And again, I have great respect for Mahomes. I have great respect for Andy. Bro, these things are not guaranteed. But when you got a GM cutting deals like the way he's cutting right now, and to get out by not really getting killed on this deal is insane great. That's what makes Howie better. You got to say it, than Brett Veach. Are the Eagles outscoring the Cowboys in the headlines as well? Dude, absolutely. Anthony throwing shade as he walks out the building. Goodbye, Huff and Puff. Dude, you guys are so far ahead. You're lapping the field. You are lapping the NFL right now. Holy cow. Absolutely fantastic stuff, man. What a way to end a week. Next week, they're going to be back out there for OTAs. You know what, too? I'll tell you this. That gives an organization energy. Energy in the building. When you got a GM that's doing this. Hey, look, Bryce Huff didn't fit here. He didn't. Because you know why? He couldn't do the things that Vic Fangio wanted him to do. It's not that he hated the player. Hey, there's nothing personal here. I'm going to give you an example about Milton Williams and Josh Sweat here. Because guess why? If you play here in Philly, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have success somewhere else. Because their definition of great players is different than other teams. We talked about this yesterday with Xander. I think that New England Patriots are going to be highly disappointed with Milton Williams. Why would they be disappointed? Again, this is why we, or you guys, I should say, were disappointed with Bryce Huff. Why do you think Patriot fans are going to be disappointed with Milton Williams? You have an idea why? No, that's not why. A little bit, not much, but we'll see what you say to it. Why do you think they'll be disappointed? Carter? He's not a $26 million player. He's a $26 million player in Philly. He's not a $26 million a year player in New England. Why? The definition of greatness and great players in Philly is different than, say, Dallas. I pointed this out to you. The Dallas Cowboys definition of greatness when it comes to a player is a guy who doesn't do all three things: drop, play the run, and pass rush. Finding guys like that is so hard to find. So how many teams, John McMullen said it on Birds 365 today, how many teams have players like that on their team? Really, there's only one. It's in Philly. So the mold that they're looking for, you think New England has guys like Philadelphia has? Absolutely not. They don't have three-down players, or they wouldn't be a 4-win team. That's called scheme fit. It is. Davion, right. It's a scheme fit. You've got to be a three-down guy to play in Philadelphia, or if you can't, you're out. Bye, Huff. Bye, Reddick. Hassan Reddick and Bryce Huff. The only difference, Huff's a better pass rusher. The reason they're not here, they can't do all three things. As great as you think Micah Parsons is, he couldn't play in Philly because he couldn't play for Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio's not looking for Micah Parsons. He's looking for versatile players that can play the run, can drop, and can pass rush. That's it. That's why every single player, it's clear now to me on how they see players. They have a mold or a DNA or a profile of what they think a great player is. The Cowboys, Patriots, Niners, other places have a different definition of it. Okay? And David goes, not true. He is the only one-trick pony on the team. He's the only one-trick pony. That's why it's hard to determine his value. Okay? That's why, again, one-dimensional players cannot play in Philly. Okay? Now, TJ Watt can drop, can rush, and play the run. That's a fit. Trey Hendrickson's not a fit in Philly. He can't play the run. I saw Fred Johnson beat the piss out of him. Fred Johnson, if Jordan Mailata had played against him, he'd have put him in a slingshot and shot him over the bow. I mean, it is clear to me on what they're looking at and profiling in players. That's how they landed on Jalix. You know, when I went like this in the draft, why did they draft Jalix Hunt? I see it now. He's got a skill set that he can drop, he can rush, and he can play the run. You guys have put players in place, okay, that other teams would not look at in the same light. That's why they found Zach Bond. You know why? New Orleans has a different definition of great players. Why do you think when they looked at C.J. Gardner, they didn't see it? They looked at Zach Bond and didn't see it because there's a different definition of what they're looking for in a type of profile player. It's so simple now. You guys look at players 100% differently than what other organizations do. See, somebody will look at Michael Parsons, like I said, and go, what a great player. He can't play in Philly. If you're not willing to play the run, you can't play here. Thinking, I brought this up again yesterday, and I'll bring it up again. He struggles against the run, and the Cowboys struggle against the run as a unit. I don't know. Most people would probably say that that's a coincidence. I say if you got the top player on your defensive team, and that's your best player and your signature player on your defense, and the one thing your unit can't do and he can't do, I think there isn't a coincidence. I think that's who it is. And you build your team around that same thing. That's a finesse defense in Dallas. They're not physical. The Eagles want to be physical with you. But again, Still, as I said it all last year, that the Chiefs looked old and worn out. Yeah, and you know what? I saw Patrick Mahomes trying to make an excuse there for Travis Swift. That's my new name for Travis Hunter. For Travis Kelce, my new name for Travis Kelce is Travis Swift. This guy's more concerned about his Instagram followers and hanging out with his chick than he is actually playing on a football field. Albeit you're 35. Son, it's time to put it down. It's over with. Travis Swift, that's his new name. I mean, dude, Kansas City, if they win 8-9 games, I'll be stunned. I'll make it. Hold on. That's another Big Sills prediction there. I don't see it. I don't. Do you guys follow now where, again, here's where the Eagles failed. Okay? They believed that they thought that they could have him and he wouldn't be as atrocious versus the run as he was. I'll give Xander a lot of love here on this. Xander said it right out of the gate. Sills, don't you think he's a liability? He was a liability. And when they went to BG, the whole thing changed. And then as the younger players were watching Brandon Graham play, Bryce Huff could never play like that. He could never set the edge. So San Francisco has to know this. He's a one-dimensional pass rusher. But I'm okay. What's the number that they got that down to? I'm okay doing this. San Francisco, for this year, owes him $7.95 million. I'm okay paying that with a one-dimensional guy. I am not okay paying $17 million for a one-dimensional guy. Okay? I am not. So San Francisco was like, okay, I'll take that. Again, okay? He's a pass rusher. Wind him up and let him run into quarterbacks. Fine. If you think you have the front four guys to be able to be okay with that, then you could absorb that and you could stop the run. He's a good player. That's a fit. Not everybody fit. Hey, I can't tell you how many times I bring this up to you about players going to certain schemes, players going to certain organizations. Okay? I told you a story about Burke Roseman. He's a friend of mine. Played with the San Diego Chargers back in the day. First 2 years, he had 20 sacks. Scheme fit him perfect. New coaching staff rolls in with Bobby Ross. This dude's down to 4. He's down to 5. They put him in a different scheme, and he couldn't excel. Changed his entire technique, his ability. They built a defense around a guy whose skill set didn't fit what they were doing. It happens all the time. Now, look, do you bang on Howie for missing on Huff? No. Why? Well, here's why. Don't ever bang on guys taking swings. Let me put this out there to you. So Howie Roseman comes to the plate. He could go 0 for 6. That dude's not going to start bunting. He's not going to start taking walks. He's going to continue swinging because he knows and he believes in his process. I'll tell you this. If I am a general manager and I'm looking on how to build my team, I'm looking at that dude there. He swung and missed. But then you know what he could come back and say? I didn't swing and miss on Zach Bond. I didn't swing and miss on Saquon Barkley. Think of that. You got Barkley for $9 million in a $2,000 plus season and a Super Bowl. Shit, what a steal. What an absolute steal. You took a former first-round draft choice with the Jets, and what a steal. What was it, 1.5? For Becton to play right guard? Okay, another grand slam. You re-signed Gardner Johnson at 6 picks. He was second or third in turnovers. Grand slam re-sign. And then there's Bryce Huff. All right, shit, so what? I say so what? And you had younger players that you drafted. You had a rookie in Jalix Hunt step in and play. And he showed up. How many times did you look up after week 8 and you go, hey, is that Jalix Hunt showing up? Then you had Nolan Smith showing up. Again, can they do it on a consistent basis? Let me show you something here again. You guys think that Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith are going to duplicate what they did a year ago. Until we see it, it's wishful thinking and you're hoping. You've got a ton of players on your team that are one-hit wonders that you've signed as free agents. They're all one-hit wonders, including Bryce Huff. He was a one-hit wonder. There's like 3 players on your team that are one-hit wonders. Okay? You don't know Nolan Smith's going to be in that room. You don't know Jalix Hunt's not going to be in that room. You've got to see these guys elevate their game each and every single year. The truly great players elevate every year. And I will never call a great player, even though I'm in love with Cooper DeJean, and I think the guy looks like a superstar ball player, until I see 3 years back to back to back. That's one of my biggest problems with Jalen Hurts. I saw 4 different Hurtses. I don't know what I'm looking at. I guess what I'm supposed to start doing is that he's a chameleon, and that's a good thing because the results are winning. So I've got to adjust the way I see things. What show am I watching? Dan's giving Howie props. I'm going to say it again to people. I don't cover sports and I don't cover teams like your honk boys do. When I see somebody doing something great, they get props. When I don't like what they're doing, they get shit on. End of story. My grandfather used to have a line. There's no gray area. There's no bell curve in the NFL. I mean, this is not this is not like politics where you get the latitude and the benefit of the doubt. There's no benefit of the doubt in the NFL. Okay? Get this. So this guy sits here, gives me shit all day for taking a shit on the Eagles, and now he's telling me I'm on Eagle crack. Which is it, guy? Are you flip-flopping? Truly not understanding where you're going here. One day you're calling me an asshole. Now you're telling me I'm on Eagle crack. Okay. Yeah. Got it. I mean, has Eagle organization changed your philosophy? It has. Because they're not concerned about winning back-to-back. You know what they're concerned about? They're concerned about in 5-year span, they want to win 2 or 3 Super Bowls. And if it just so happens that the other the other teams in the league don't catch them, maybe they will fall into a back-to-back. There's only been 9 times that's ever happened. Okay? That's only 9 times that's happened. Not a shocker. Yeah, so you got no. That's how I cover. I call you an asshole every day, Sills. I stand by it. Me too. Hey, wait a minute, Prince. Are you suggesting I'm not? Okay, if you're suggesting I'm not, well, yeah, I'm going to dispute. I'm going to fight you back on that because I believe I am. Right? Kudos to you, man. Let me reiterate the deal here. It's really great. Eagles declined Bryce Huff's $15.58 million fully guaranteed option bonus. Again, voidable years. They turned that and switched it into a base. I don't know if I've ever heard that. Then Philly then turned the 9.05 base salary into a signing bonus. So they basically fully guaranteed it and went here. And then It allowed San Francisco to pick up the remaining 7.95. Remember, he's going to make 17 something this year, right? So the Eagles saved 7.95 that San Francisco's going to pay and created $15 million in cap space. This will be after June 1 next week. Sunday's June 1st. So about second on Monday, this deal will become complete. And Bryce Huff wants out too. Okay, no problem. Not every player fits into a system. Absolutely true. You know what? Let me point something out to you here. Moves like that win you Super Bowls. Moves like that win you 14 games. Okay? Hey, by the way, fuck Bryce Huff. Who cares? The money mattered, not the stiff. I don't care about the player. The player, get this. He is probably the most useless player that was on the roster a year ago. Who cares? You didn't need him. Dude, you guys are talking shit on Bryce Huff here on May 30th. We were talking shit on Bryce Huff October 1. I mean, now all of a sudden we're going to start dumping up. Dude, me was the money. John said it this morning. Nobody's going to trade for that contract. Oh, yes, they are. If you had three willing people, the player and his agent, the Eagles, and the Niners, they were willing to do this. Okay? So they traded him. And now Howie gets a draft pick, another draft pick. Mid-round, what are we talking, fourth? A potential fourth-round pick for a free agent. Remember, he was a free agent. That wasn't a trade. You traded Reddick for the third. So what you got basically in return from the Jets, you got a third and a fourth-round pick. And one guy wasn't drafted. He was released, basically, by the Jets. You got 2 for 1. And you could package those fourth-round deals up to move up into the third and second rounds. It's just great. Sil's explaining something to me. Why do teams take cap hits in trades when the other team takes on players' contract? You missed my super chat. I'm sorry, brother. We love you. We appreciate that. Because they're not very good managers of the salary cap. Dude, what your guy is he is the best at dealing with this cap of anybody I've ever seen. I thought Bruce Allen was a good capologist. This fucking guy blows the doorknobs off everybody. Everybody. Dude, the reason you're able to keep dudes on your team is because of moves just like that. There is no question that the evaluating of the pick, getting the draft guys right, and then turning around and saving the money that you save. Dude, do you understand now the salary? You got 25 to $28 million in cap space? Shit, man. If you're Jalen Carter, you're doing this. Thank you. I'm going to get some of that Bryce Huff money. And you get this. It's a non-factor. He wasn't a contributor last year. He was a liability last year. So you just went like this. I got rid of a liability. And I got a draft pick out of a liability. You, in theory, almost recovered that third-round pick that you traded away for Jahan Dotson. Stroke of genius, man. And here's why you could take what I'm saying to the bank, because I don't praise people, but I praise greatness. It's a fucking great move. You got a draft pick from a liability, money-wise, production-wise. Again, I don't, and I'm not banging on Howie for taking a swing at Huff. I would too. Hey, $17 million when the market is there for around $25 to $30 million for an exceptional pass rusher. 17 is a steal to try to find out if the guy could be that dude for you. Okay, so I landed on Zach Bond and I got production from my draft picks. Nolan Smith stepped in. He played well. Fuck it, I don't care. And I got a 4th-round pick out of it. So the only thing we're talking about is me being able to maneuver the money around a little bit and me getting it done. Fantastic. This is why you're Super Bowl champions. Right here. I don't know what your 2025 season is going to look like. I just know this. You are set up. You know when they say Super Bowl window? Right there is why you have a Super Bowl window. It is the players on the field, but it's also creating the room for the players on the field to sit there and develop. How many teams don't get a chance to develop players? Look at the Cowboys. Cowboys are a prime example of this failure. You know why they can't do this? Because the owner doesn't want to spend the money up front. He wants guys to earn it. Well, guess what? That old style way of thinking, they're progressive thinkers in Philly with how they spend money. This right here, all seriousness, I like to jack around with you guys, but this is fucking great. Seals, the Eagles said, no need for divorce attorneys. Bro, it's a great analogy. Let's mediate this like adults. So, like, what do you get? Like the Wedding Crashers? Hey, you take the Sky Miles, Prince. Give her the Sky Miles. Is that what we're doing here? And then slid the ring across the table and said, Bryce Huff, leave the keys at the door. Alimony is up front. See you later. So hey, Prince, that's what we did here. I'll tell you what, Prince, you want the Sky Miles? They're yours. Okay, you want the 2 Beamers? Here. Okay, and if you want to throw a couple Sky Miles my way, we're good. Is that what we're doing? All right. We talked him into trading for a Super Bowl champion edge. Hey, that's why they kept him on the roster. Because they didn't get this. I thought that would really hurt his market value. Deactivating him. And I disagree with John big time here. I don't know about the latter. I heard that this morning. But I don't know about you. But if I was a player and somebody told me not to fucking show up to the Super Bowl and then the OTAs and minicamp, I would think my days were numbered. My agent would be on the phone going, hey, so don't show up to minicamp. Don't show up to OTAs. And by the way, do whatever. You know what you could do? Go sit in the stands. Don't even sit in the box for the Super Bowl. I don't know about you. But for me, I'd be like, shit. They'd rather have Jalen Hunt than me active. Okay, well, I'm out. It's not a chance in hell they won. He was never going to play. I'm seriously. When Howie probably knowing him, the way he moves, when he got hit with that beer bottle in the head, it probably was an epiphany. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. Hang on here. I could take the 15.58 fully guaranteed option, turn that bitch into a base salary. Hang on. Wait a minute. I'm starting to come to. Please don't let me not come through. Then I could take that 9.05 and turn that into a signing bonus. Yeah, wait a minute, Mike. I'm bleeding from that beer bottle hitting me in the head. And by the time the damn parade was over, he had already figured out how to move him to San Francisco. What a day. Hey, you may not have made a lot of moves in the offseason to bring superstar talent type players in. You know what you did do? You figured out how to move around and not as catastrophic when it comes to getting rid of players, re-signing, restructuring. You know what the Eagles did? They were like an aircraft carrier that was out to sea, that was out there and has won just so many battles, and they were instrumental in winning the war. But they took on shrapnel. They came back from the war. They parked it in Norfolk. They started doing repairs on it, rough seas and shit. Lost some men. Aircraft carrier is ready to fucking go out to sea again and do battle. Still afloat. Like the Carl Vincent. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, this shit's up. I would have to think that Elon Musk would have to be happy with this with Doge. This is like Doge. Well, if I take it from USID or AID, whatever, and I take it from the Justice Department, and I take it from HUD, and I take it from Board of Education here, I'll be able to save some money here. Okay, I don't know. This sounds like something that Elon Musk is doing. Crazy because losing Huff made us better. Absolutely. Kicking that guy to the curb made you better. Because get this. Azeez Ojulari, let's find out if you can fucking play. Let's give more reps in camp. That's what they did. They did. Remember I said this the other day? Why in the world would I give Bryce Huff reps when I know he can't do the job? It just makes no sense. Why would I give him reps? Sills, you got any info on June 1 casualties? I'll know Saturday, so keep an eye on my Twitter or my X account. I'll do that on Saturday. Let me put this into. Let me rank your moves. The best move Howie's made this offseason has been what? The giving Barkley more money. That's not great. I don't care. He was going to be here anyway. That's a cool thing. The signing of Zach Bond is probably number one. The Cam Jurgens deal was good. This was better. The deal to move Huff to San Francisco is better. Cam was going to be here. This is the second best move he's made. It's a championship move. This is not a little thing. No, Lane Johnson extension is not better than this. He was going to be here. You're just talking about moving money around for Lane and for Cam and that, and giving money to Barkley. Re-signing Bond in this move. These are really great moves. Okay? Look at Prince here. We're sitting at $25 million in cap space. This is going to free up $15 million. This is crazy. Think of this. You're the Super Bowl champions. You got $40 million in cap space? Heading into June? You show me another fucking team like that's even close to that. I mean, you're the champs and you got cap space. Then you could take a look at cap casualties. Remember, he said something. I don't know if it was the combines. Somebody help me. I don't remember if it was the combines or it was, I don't remember either the combines or the draft. Howie said this. He goes, listen, It's not going to look the same. But what was the line? Let it play out. If you like this move, hit that like button. Here, let me hit it. There. I just hit it. See, again, for me, looking and evaluating the team where they are, there is no doubt that dude was never going to be aboard that football team come September. I'm talking Bryce Huff. Yes, sir. Howie is elite. I think this just solidified. I mean, I do love Nick Caserio in Houston, but I mean, look at James. James is a Washington Redskin / Commander fan. I'd be pissed off too. Fuck. If I'm the Cowboys, the Giants, think about the Giants and Joe Schoen and Jerry Jones and Adam Peters in Washington. Think about those three dudes. You're watching this guy get out of shit unscathed. Dallas can't get out of shit. They can't get out of their own way. Look at New York. They can't draft. They can't sign their draft. What's Millie Neighbors doing on your football team in New York? Ask yourself this. Why in the world? Pissed off? I'll tell you why, James. Because how are you supposed to get ahead of a football team that's constantly ahead of you, even when they lose great players? They're clearing $40 million. Like I said, if I'm Jalen Carter and I show up to NovaCare next week, man, am I smiling my ass off. That's my money. That's my money. Hey, maybe that's some of Reed Blankenship's money. Maybe Dallas Goedert money. Do you think one of the reasons that Dallas Goedert had to take a pay cut is because they didn't know if they had a dance partner to move around and get rid of Bryce Huff's contract and his $51 million? Now that they've moved that off the books, doesn't that make it, if Dallas has a 900-yard year, 10 touchdowns, now you've cleared some money up to bring them back? Look at how the environment of the salary cap for Philadelphia changed in a matter of 24 hours. So when people say Goddard is not here, I don't believe there's anything on that roster that's a given. Ask Clint what he thought of Huff, please. I wonder. No, I'll tell you exactly what the edge rushing coach and what Clint Hurt thought of him. He was a one-dimensional football player who struggled to drop in coverage. Do you know how many times that they would say that he was on the field? And here's the most important thing. He couldn't set the edge. Offensive linemen would be able to reach him on his left side, and they would get around the corner on him. Or if they put a tight end over there, they would destroy him down into the pile and create lanes of running. Okay? I mean, that's a championship move. Wait, the Philadelphia Eagles are beating every team in headlines, wins. They got to be one of the best teams to cover I've ever seen. Man, I thought covering the Eagles was going to, because I never really looked at you guys and went, fuck, man, that team's really good. I mean, it's the GM, though. It's the swagger coach. I heard that. Swagger. How come when I hear that, I laugh? When I hear swagger for Jimmy, I stand at attention. I don't know. Swagger. Yeah, okay. Yeah. How about TJ Watt? Would you guys want to try to go after Watt? You got the fucking money. Here's Bob's take on TJ Watt and pursuing him. And by the way, you see on our show, we explore opportunities. We don't sit here and shut shit down. We explore conversation and topics. TJ Watt deal, making that trade, which will cost us bit. But if Howie elects not to re-sign him, the deal he signs elsewhere should yield a valuable pick when it comes to a compensation pick. Absolutely. Xander, I just missed the super chat. If we could put that up. It was a blue one, I believe. We can. Guys, I appreciate all the supers, too, that you guys are sending today. If you were here defending Huff, take the day off. There's no defending that guy. People were shitting on that guy in October, like I said. Okay? I mean, I'm pretty shocked San Francisco because they're limited on cap space. They had to get rid of Javon Hargrave at his $20 million contract. Okay? Dude, the guys on your football team right now that are outside of Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith, sorry, I don't see it. You're very limited at edge right now. Now, what did they do a year ago? A 3-man rotation. So let me ask you this. Okay, do you go to TJ Watt route? Or do you find another rotational guy? Because let's take it for what it was a year ago. I'll tell you what. Do you make a call to BG? Hey, Brandon, now that we got rid of Bryce Huff, I don't know. Do you do this? Hey, Brandon, how'd you like to be the third wheel and back up Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith? And your 3-man rotation would be those guys. Hey, like I said, I'm talking options. Okay? So Leon and others would say they'd rather have Azeez Ojulari than Brandon Graham as your third wheel. Is that right? Not me. That guy's had numerous opportunities to be a star. All the guys you signed are one-hit wonders and one-dimensional ball players. Great question. Danny, why does a team need so many backups on a stacked team? Hey, Barb, do you not agree with me? One of the reasons that you were Super Bowl champions, Oren Burks, Fred Johnson, Isaiah Rodgers, Tristan McCullum, Tyler Steen, all those guys who came in as backup roles when needed to plug in. You won a Super Bowl because you had that dynamic also. Okay? Those guys all came in and played in backup roles. Dakota, Bryce Huff was gone a year ago. He was when they pass out Super Bowl rings for people that were on that team, you know what he should get? He should get a gummy bear ring. He played and had zero impact on that football team a year ago. Shit, let me put this out there to you. If Bryce Huff's contract wasn't on that team, you think you'd have kept Josh Sweat? I think at least would have been a bigger conversation. Yeah, one of them gummy bear rings. Those things you suck on. Stroke of genius. Thank you, Rodney. Stroke of genius. Hit the like button, guys. By the way, you guys have to hear this guy's song he made for Big Cells. Fucking epic. I love it, dude. It's one of the best songs I've ever heard. I may have to play it if you give me permission. Hey, Sills, with this trade of Huff to the Niners, what move do you feel they need? That's where we're going to go next to make with the money they freed up. Again, remember, you got players on the back end you got to deal with here. Thank you, Sig. That was an absolutely great video. They're setting up for Carter's contract for sure. Thank you for being a member for 2 months. By the way, don't forget, Xander's going to join us at 3:30, and Philly Godfather will join us at 5:30. Appreciate him. We're going to talk with him. Talk about the odds the Eagles potentially winning the Super Bowl. Showing Sills some love. Rodney, we appreciate you. I love when people show the show love. By the way, if you like the Bryce Huff move, please do me a favor and hit that like button. Thank you. What do they do next? Have we not learned one thing? You guys may not need. I fall into the media trap too. I fall into the media trap. You know what that is? Let's look at the big names. Trey Hendrickson. Prince, no, I'm not taking a shot at you here. Trey Hendrickson, TJ Watt. Do they need that? Shit, you didn't need it a year ago. I think you need more D-line guys, not edge guys. I think you need more depth in the defensive tackle position. Why? A Vic Fangio defense is not predicated on edge rushing. It's predicated on drops, stopping the run, and rushing the passer. Okay? Not just one-dimensional pass rushers. Right? Did that show you one thing about his style of defense? How important is edge rushing to Vic Fangio? You know how important it is? I want to show you this. So Howie Roseman signed a guy. Hey, will somebody hook me up here? Was Bryce Huff signed before or after Vic Fangio became the DC a year ago? Does anybody remember? Does anybody remember how that progression went? Was it Huff signed free? Vic had to be the DC, wasn't he? I thought that happened right after the season. Okay. So get Simmons, Matt Judon, and trade for Pitts. Mikey, that's good thinking there, man. They may just actually do that. I think signing Uche and Aziz when Nessie moves to challenge Hunt and Sweat. Okay. You mean Hunt and Smith. All four will be better players going up against Jordan and Lane. Yes, that's iron sharpens iron stuff. Absolutely true. And by the way, you're right. That's why you sign free agents. You sign free agents because what you want is your draft picks to beat them out. Like, there's not a chance in hell Howie Roseman or Vic Fangio is rooting for Adoree Jackson to win that job. They are not hoping for that. They're looking more for the guys they drafted to win those gigs. before Vic. Wow. So, okay. So you signed Huff before Vic. Look at what Vic did. That was so anti-Howie. You want to know another place Howie grew? How many times? Look at what Vic Fangio did, and look what Howie did. Two things that were totally opposite of one another. And Howie must have said he's cool with it. What were the big dynamics last year? You guys remember? It was this. Well, I'm not playing James Bradbury. Guy sucks. I'm not playing. Howie goes like this. Well, I'm going to keep him on the team. Wasn't he active? Vic goes, I'm not playing him. Imagine the balls that takes for a D coordinator. What was that, $12 million? You had $29 million sitting on the bench. And Vic said, fuck that. I'm not playing them guys. Fuck that. I'm $30 million in dudes. Okay? $30 million. I asked the question, douchebag. I mean, you know, he just went like this. Fuck that. I'm not. Okay. There you go. Thank you, Abe. Appreciate it. Okay. So signed in January, at the very tail end of January. Yet all of February, they went into free agent, signed this guy. And Vic Fangio said, okay, great. Got him in the room and went just like this. Screw it. I'm not playing that guy. $30 million. How he's doing business over there, Vic's doing business over here. It's brilliant. By the way, you got to be a hell of a coordinator, and you have to have a hell of a resume to butt heads. Think of this. Doug Peterson tried. Hey, Prince, do you not agree? Prince, follow me here. Doug Peterson tried butting heads with Howie, and that got him on the unemployment line, right? Vic Fangio's butted heads and said, I'm going to deliver you a Super Bowl. Right? He said $30 million. $30 million in player salaries. Did Bradbury ever get on the field? Huff had like 2.5 sacks. $30 million. He goes, I'm not playing them guys. I'm not playing them. Bradbury, get this. Bradbury never played it down. Look at this. Howie Roseman had $30 million of player salaries that had no impact on the NFC Championship game, the divisional game, and the Super Bowl. No room anywhere on the roster. And you won it, and you dominated. Then you got out from under those deals. I haven't even picked my topics up yet. This is too good. This is too good. I mean, here. Some of my topics. This is too good. Now, again, June 1st, because of the salary cap that you have, or I should say, June 1st cap casualties, does Howie now have free reign of signing guys and taking a look and going after players maybe that are out there where he's looking at? Do you need an A player or do you need a B player? Okay? Do you need an A player or a B player? What do you think? Big Joe Kraus must love this. Man in the ship. By the way, real quick, since Joe is running the ship, I want to tell everybody, got some nice pub about the show down in Tampa. This is my main gig. Okay? Just want you guys to know that. This is my fucking main gig. That show, great, wonderful, happy. But not as happy as this. So just don't ever think that. Okay? That's not where my career's not going anywhere on radio, really. My career's going here. I know that. Okay? You guys show up and you're loyal every single day to me. I am a loyal human. I've been married to my wife for almost 40 years. I'm loyal to my football program, and I'm loyal to everything I do. I value you guys coming here. Okay? Hey, that's okay. It's all right. John disagrees with the way I do broadcasting. That's what makes JAKIB great. It's not a rip. That's fine. I don't have one problem with that. Hey, Eagles don't like me. I don't blame them. One bit. Matter of fact, I enjoy listening to them. Okay? Very few people know me. They know of me, or they think they do. It's okay. I understand. I've been in this business too long. With too many good things and too many bad things. But that's why people watch and listen. Not upset. Not a problem. I wouldn't come on this show either. Okay, if I was covering a team. Sig, thanks for the song. It's appropriate. Sills, let's take that $40 million and turn it into 2, 8 to 10. That's a great take. That's a great take. Right? Get this. These are always my favorite ones. Hey, this show stinks. Thanks for showing up and being part of it. Thank you. Right? Those are always my favorite. This guy sucks. You sucked for the last 4 years. Yeah, I know. Thanks for tuning in for 4 years. Okay? You may piss me off. This is my wife talking now. This must be my wife's burner. You may piss me off, but it's nice to have a voice that challenges thoughts. I've had my criticisms, but your connections are there for a reason. Dank, that's right. That is absolutely correct. Oh, see, I would love to have, Roland, a t-shirt that said, "You suck, Sileo." I would wear it with pride. I would wear that with pride. Okay? You know they're watching. Sills, my boss told us we just landed the contract for a Carnival Cruise Line. Congratulations to you, man. I know the guy who owns Carnival Cruise Line. The guy who owns the Miami Heat. He is a great guy. And I know him very well. As a matter of fact, I just kind of I forgot, Joe. I know the owner of the Heat. He owns Carnival Cruise Line. It must be my CTE kicking in. Shit, I don't know, man. Where are we going here? Howie not using all them picks the next 2 years. He will upgrade the trenches on the ends. Well, shit, man. That's one of the reasons why you got to look at it this way. You've got how many picks now? 21, and then you got like how many picks next year? Like 17? That's fabulous. It's fantastic. Let me reiterate. Leon, thank you so much for the support. Hi, Sills. Thank you, JK, bro. You're a good man. Thank you. Leon. Wait a minute, Leon. I thought I was a racist. Oh, man. You know, people say all kinds of shit, Leon. Big Sills is still standing, though. Right, Sig? Still standing. Leon, wait a minute, Leon. Wait a minute. A black guy likes me. Who would have thought? Oh, my God. Can't be true. Wait a minute. You mean somebody other than was he? I'm not white anyway. I'm Italian, so hey, whatever, you know. I mean, wait a minute. I see you, Sue. We got to get Huff a hobby. You should make a statue for him, Hoss. I also give Sill shit for Hurts, but he has some valid point. Oh, thank you very much. Okay. Oh, my God, Emrayes, can you believe it? My God, what an epiphany. I have a black friend now. Holy crap. This is incredible. Thank you, Leon. You're my first black friend. Try that on radio. Hey, try that on radio. Yeah, all right. Yeah, hey, Joe Krause, that'll work, right? Right? Hey, that'll work. Oh, hey. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. That's funny. Thank you, Leon. I digress. Jesus Christ, I haven't even got to my topics yet. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. I just disrespected Anthony. Anthony, forgive me. I have two black friends. I'm so sorry. Anthony, I apologize. Don't stop doing it. Okay, I'm on the booty boat now. The Stephon Diggs booty boat. Anthony, I'm sorry. I offended my second black friend. Wait a minute, Mr. Okay, stop it. I've opened up stupid shit here. Wait a minute, Prince, I thought you were Puerto Rican. Someone said Sills is using. You guys should be happy today. Okay, you guys should be happy today, right? Sills always invited. Good guy. Good bro, that's awesome. I swear to you guys, I'd have a beer and some brats and some wings and shit with you guys any day. I really would. Anybody that comes here every day to hear my bullshit, I am so happy. Oh my God. He had me fooled. I know, Barb. I don't know. I'm very limited in all my black friends because, the majority of the folks that come on here are white. That's not true. No. Okay, stop. Oh, yeah, it's a great day in Eagle Land. It absolutely is. Senorita Sills. I got his Coronas with limes ready. Hey, dude. Good for you. You know it, huh? I like that. I graduated from Coochie University. Sills invited. Dude, thank you, Gabe. That's dope, dog. That's dope. Sills, what do you think about Huff going to the no Niners, the 99ers? I think it's a fantastic deal for the Eagles. Let San Francisco try to figure him out. Okay? Let them figure Bryce Huff out. Let them figure him out. I don't think he can. I think that's a bad move. Watch him at 15 sacks. Okay? Sills ain't new to this. He's true to this. Thank you, BJ. Thank you. Are you my fourth black friend? That's why we'll stay here. I told you, one of the reasons why Charles Barkley never leaves TNT, well, now he's got to do stuff with ESPN, is why. Because TNT protected him. Okay? Seriously, look at the topics that I had. And my top one was this one. Why is Bryce Huff on the team? And I actually wrote it down. Look, they're going to cut him June 1st. Well, I wasn't really that wrong. They traded him. And it'll be on June 1st, right there. Look. Not that you guys could read my chicken scratches. I mean, I'm like, why is Bryce Huff on the team? And I said, see that in the right-hand side? It says cut June 1st. I thought they were going to cut him. I was going to come on the program today. And I was going to say they were going to cut him. Okay? Dr. Handwriting, I'm going to use that. Okay? Seals, I got Seals joke now. Oh, man. Seals, those teachers must have felt bad for you. No, see, I went to Catholic school. They paddled my ass. They never felt sorry for me. Okay, remember something. I went to a school that beat the shit out of you. Okay? And they were nuns. You know, I mean, like, you ever see the Blues Brothers and that nun throws those guys down the steps? That's the kind of nuns I had. Just a Marjorie Fish. I told you, she was a bruiser. I mean, she come out, she looked like she was as big as Jordan Davis. Sister Marjorie Fish looked like Jordan Davis. Dan Sileo, come to the principal, Sister Judith O'Connor's office. Ooh. Yeah. Come waddling in there, not good, man. Chick had biceps as big as Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like I told you before, I just remember bee stings. I don't know why. It was like the paddle swatting on your ass. Okay? Boom! Like you're being electrocuted. Bang! Boom! All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what's next? What's next? Here, let me read the deal because people are coming in and out of here. Okay? Here is the deal of the Bryce Huff move to San Francisco again. Remember something. We got to keep reiterating this deal. I know some of you have heard this, but let's keep it. Relax, Elizabeth. The Eagles declined Bryce Huff's $15.58 fully guaranteed deal. They turned it into a bonus. Okay? Then they flipped it into a base. Philly then turned the 9.05 of that base salary into a bonus. Which means this. They gave that to him. Do you understand? They gave Bryce Huff $9 million to get the fuck out of town. Hey, you suck so bad. Here's $9 million. They weren't worried about the 9. They were worried about the next 2 years of 30. They looked at it like this. Well, all right, that's $34 million or $38 million we owe the guy versus $9 million. What are we going to do? Give him the 9, get him out of here, and the roster spot. They told that guy, here's $9 million to get the hell out of town. Howie wants multiple Super Bowls, not back-to-back. Dude, back-to-back is a pipe dream. Multiple is a reality. Okay? Would Howie rather have back-to-back Super Bowls or have 5? I'll take the 5. Okay? Oh, and by the way, oh yeah, Senor hit it on the head. Think of this for a second. Hey, yeah, congratulations. Bryce Huff took a pay cut going to California. Okay? He took a pay cut. Hey, Big Sills, what would you rank Howie all time? After this past Super Bowl win, how about if he wins 2 more in the next few years, say? Give him 4. 4 in the past 10 to 12 seasons with 5 appearances. Where would that rank Howie Roseman when it comes to all-time great general managers? I don't think you could put him in the conversation of all-time great general managers. Why? Why couldn't you? Why couldn't you put Howie Roseman in the conversation of the greatest general manager of all time? Why couldn't you do that? He'll never be in that conversation. Brian says, why not? Super Bowls. Okay, Bob, I'm gonna tell you why he can't be in that conversation. Trayvon Walker, the kid down in Jacksonville, he's a good player. He's a number 1 overall pick. How much do you want to give up for that? Didn't accomplish enough. I don't think that. Okay. Why can't you put him? There you go, Gabe. Bobby Beathard and George Young, the former Giant, and John McVay, Carmen Policy, those guys, Paul Brown, they never had to deal with salary cap. They weren't businessmen. They were football men. Howie's a football man and a businessman. He handles cap, draft. When you were a general manager like Bobby Beathard, the guy who built the Miami Dolphins back in the day, they had one job: get me great talent. So the definition of general manager has changed. You understand? The definition's changed. They had one job. Let me go find all the talent I can, not have to worry about salaries. Hell, I don't even cut salaries. We have another guy that cuts salaries. They didn't worry about that shit. Howie's got multiple jobs now. Actually, he's got 3 jobs. He deals with the analytics department. He deals with the personnel department. And he deals with the cap department. Those are 3 different jobs. 3 different jobs. Probably more. Deals with cap issues. And also, remember, back in the day, if you signed a guy, let's say, who was your general manager back in the Joe Banner prior to cap? You wanted to sign a guy to a 3-year contract, you didn't have to worry about any kind of cap casualty or anything. You signed that guy like he was cattle in a barn. That guy was going to be there whether you wanted him. Maybe you didn't want him. And if you didn't want him, you cut his ass and blow him out with no ramifications on how you manipulate the cap. I mean, you can't compare him to Bobby Beathard or George Young or John McVay, policy, those guys. Paul Brown, building and finding players. They didn't worry about money. So when you're talking about doing all those jobs, I think Ozzie Newsome's in the conversation. I think Brett Veach has carved the name out. I think Nick Caserio has clearly carved the name out. It's them dudes. John Schneider, Seattle. It's a whole new room. It's a different general manager conversation. But if I were to say this, after seeing a deal like this, would you not agree? You look at a deal like this. Don't ever tell me Nick Sirianni's importance in that room is more than that guy. That ain't happening. Man, I can't wait to see Howie Roseman's deal. If that were me and I was the Jets owner, what's another shitty team? Chicago. Who else? Jets, Chicago, Carolina. Give me another shitty team. Tennessee. Arizona. Right? Howie, how much do you want? The Giants. Let me tell you this. You know the best way to get back at Philly is to offer Howie Roseman a contract. If I was John Mara and I got Joe Schoen in the building, that guy just picked Jackson Dart. I don't know. Maybe Jackson Dart goes on and that guy becomes the next Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. I don't know. Cleveland, another great example. Andrew Berry's there. He's a disciple of Howie. Boy, I'll tell you. Man, if I'm Howie Roseman, I become a free agent. You know, it's going to be very interesting to see when Jeffrey Lurie sells the team, or not sells the team, but passes the torch down to his kid, Julian. What Howie Roseman's role will be. Will he still be in place? Will Jeffrey Lurie want to carve out his own way of doing business? You know, a lot of kids want to carve their own history out. You know, they just don't want to keep it going. You know, not mess it up. Unfortunately, I'm a big believer. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, how many people believe Howie, or how about this? Howie isn't leaving Philly? Dude, if somebody came to you and offered you a piece of a team and $20 million a year, you fucking are you crazy? Of course he's leaving. Of course he would leave. Here's a percentage point of an NFL team and 20 per year guaranteed for the next 5. It's $100 million. Why in the world would you not leave and take that? What are you, dumb? Oh, you stay in Philly for 9. Stupid. By then, he probably will have 3 or 4 Super Bowls. His resume's already intact. It isn't about the money. Anytime you see a fool like this, he's broke. It isn't about the money. It's always about the money. It isn't about the money. Yeah, tell your bosses that. And it's not about the money. It's about the love of the game. Yeah, okay. Who are you talking to? Somebody that's stupid? The Bryce Huff deal was all about money. See, a guy like that says, it's not about the money, RC3. The Bryce Huff deal was all about the money. This Bryce Huff deal had everything to do with money. It's not about the money. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm just saying, if I'm Howie, man, wow. You have a ton of leverage. Yes, I said this, man. I believe that 100%. Yeah, I believe that 100%, senor. Look at you, man. Look at here. Anthony's like, hey, psst, like he's John Gotti. Jeffrey Lurie's John Gotti. Hey. Or he's like Vito Corleone. Come here. Give this job to some Italian guy. Somebody, I don't want anybody hurt or anything here. Make sure, because again, I want professionals here with this. Make sure he handles it there, and I don't want this to get out of hand. And Anthony's like, Jeffrey Lurie's like, he's like Vito Corleone. Hey, come here. Do you have faith in me? Sit down. Michael's running the family now. The Don is in semi-retirement. Yeah. And he gives a couple little extra. What do you think he's paying him under the table? What? Rubles? So nobody could trace it? The NFL, hey, Anthony, the NFL right now is looking for anything to bang anything over the head of the Eagles. And Anthony's like, hey, pay him in rubles or yens. Maybe they won't be able to chase it back or trace it back to me here. I'm looking for an equity firm. I'm going to sell it to a family, or I may be selling it to some of the Saudis. I don't know. Okay? How we got paid an extra $17 billion in rubles. I heard rubles. Is that Russian money? Well, hell, that ain't worth nothing but the best outhouse wallpaper right now. You're giving me rubles? That's okay. I'm not interested. Holy cow. What's next? Post June 1, what would you do? What would you do? Pesos. Oh, that's even better. Okay? Hey, can you imagine this conversation? If you're Bryce Huff, can you imagine doing this? Hey, Bryce, we don't want you dressing for the Super Bowl. What? Yeah, we don't want you dressing for the Super Bowl. Shit. Okay. Hey, Bryce, we don't want you in any OTAs or any team activities. Okay. They gave him $9 million to go away. Stop putting Howie leaving out there. Truth is, Howie needs an owner like Lurie to maximize his ability. Most owners won't pay the cash to make trades happen. That's true. You think Jeffrey Lurie came up with that way of being able to take the salary and the base, turn it into a signing bonus, and then defer it out and take that voidable year so that he can get out of the multiple year contract, then send it to San Francisco, cut the salary in half? You think Jeffrey Lurie did that? I don't. Yes, you need to have an owner that's willing to spend money. If you're Jeffrey Lurie today and you look at that deal and the framework of the deal, and you're looking at it, you could see one thing he's trying to do. He's trying to save you money, cash, and he's trying to save you cash this year and next year and the year after. And he got a draft pick back. So why wouldn't I give you the latitude and the equity to spend money? If I see you doing this, how about this? If I see an owner going, hey, look, Dallas, We really love you. You're really a great player. But we're starting to cut economic dollars here now. We have a bunch of things that we have to do to secure our future. I don't know if you're in it. I'm not sure most owners would give Howie the rope to make mistakes like Laurie. That's right. But Howie's built that equity up. Thank you for the super chats, guys. Me personally, next move, cornerback, edge, and safety. I think edge is the third thing still. I think they need more depth there. I think D-line. Here's Richard. It's always about the money. They need to hang out.